Hey, everybody, and welcome. Today, we're going to talk about something that is, let's be honest, every homeowner's nightmare: a sudden water disaster. It's messy, it's super stressful, but knowing what to do and what happens next can make all the difference in the world. So let's get right into it. So let's just imagine it for a second. You hear a weird noise from the other room, you go to check it out, and bam, there is water everywhere. Your first instinct is probably just sheer panic. But what you do in these first few moments and what happens next is absolutely critical. We're going to walk through the whole thing so you'll know exactly what to expect. So where does all this water even come from? You might be picturing a massive river flooding your town, but that's usually not it. Most of the time, the real culprits are the everyday things we have inside our homes. And what's crazy is, look at this list. It's all so normal, right? A frozen pipe in the winter, a washing machine hose that finally gave out, or that water heater that's been on its last legs. These totally ordinary items can unleash thousands of dollars in damage, and it happens in just a matter of minutes. Okay, so you found the leak, you managed to shut the water off. Whew, the worst is over, right? Nope, not even close. See, the real enemy isn't the puddle you can see on your floor. The real danger is the invisible clock that starts ticking the second everything gets wet. And this timeline is it's everything. Within a few minutes, that water is wicking its way up inside your walls and seeping under your floors where you can't even see it. Fast forward 24 hours, and now your drywall is swelling, your floors are starting to warp, and mold spores are waking up. Then, by the 48-hour mark, you're not just dealing with water anymore. You have a full-blown mold colonization and a serious contamination problem. It escalates so fast. This right here is exactly why a fast, professional response is just non-negotiable. When you make that emergency call, a really organized, scientific process kicks into high gear to stop that clock. Let's take a look at what that actually looks like. The first thing you need to know is it's all about speed. Professional crews are basically built for rapid deployment. They can often be walking through your door in under an hour. And that 1 hour, that can literally be the difference between just drying things out and needing a huge, expensive reconstruction project. Once they're on site, it's go time. It's a systematic blitz. They don't just start mopping. They're assessing with high-tech tools. They're firing up powerful pumps to extract hundreds of gallons of water, and they are strategically setting up all this industrial-grade drying equipment to get to work immediately. And now we get to the really fascinating part, the science of it all. Because getting a home truly, properly dry is way more complicated than just making a carpet feel dry when you touch it. It's all about hitting a specific, measurable standard. This is maybe the most important concept to understand, and it's the biggest mistake people make when they try to clean up themselves. Visibly dry means almost nothing. Moisture trapped deep inside your walls or under your floors is just a ticking time bomb for mold and rot. Structurally dry is the only thing that actually matters, and you can only prove that with professional moisture meters. So you might be asking, how on earth do they find all that hidden water without just tearing your house apart? Well, they use some pretty amazing technology that lets them, quite literally, see water that's completely invisible to the naked eye. Thermal imaging cameras are a total game changer. These things are incredible. They show temperature differences, so all the moisture hiding inside your walls or under the floorboards shows up as a big cold spot on the screen. This means they can target the drying exactly where it's needed and make sure every single drop is gone, preventing that nasty mold surprise weeks down the line. Now, here's something you've probably never thought about. Not all water is created equal. The pros classify it into 3 categories. Category 1 is clean water, say from a broken water supply line. But Category 2, gray water, from a dishwasher, has soaps and bacteria in it. And then there's Category 3, black water, which is, well, it's as bad as it sounds. We're talking sewage or flood water. And here's the kicker. Any water, even clean water, that's been sitting for more than 48 hours automatically becomes Category 3. It's now considered toxic. Okay, so the water's being removed, the structure is drying out, but what about the chaos, the insurance paperwork, the stress of it all? Well, the last part of this whole process is all about restoring not just your home, but also your sanity. This is a huge relief for pretty much every homeowner. Honestly, who wants to deal with an insurance claim in the middle of a disaster? Reputable restoration companies speak the same language as the insurance adjusters. They provide all the right photos, the moisture readings, and the documentation to streamline the whole process for you, so you don't have to. So how long does this all take? How long are these loud fans going to be in your house? A realistic timeline for a true, structurally verified dryout is usually somewhere between 3 and 7 days. It's not a quick fix, because it requires continuous monitoring to make sure the job is done right, not just fast. Of course, the best emergency is the one that never happens in the first place, right? And you can absolutely be proactive. Simple things like checking those old rubber hoses on your washing machine, or, and this one's huge, knowing exactly where your home's main water shutoff valve is. Seriously, take 5 minutes after this and go find it. It could save you from an absolute catastrophe. So we'll leave you with this question. We all have smoke detectors for fire and locks for theft. But is your home really protected from water? The risk is often way higher. Hopefully, this explainer has given you the knowledge to feel prepared, not just to react to an emergency, but maybe even to prevent one from ever happening. Thanks for watching.